State's Exhibit P. And looking at State's Exhibit 190P, do you see your signature on State's Exhibit 190P?
It looks like man, but it's not man.
It looks like your signature, but it's not your signature.
That's how I write now.
That's not how you write now.
I write like this now.
Okay, but back in, you're saying, but back in July of 2015, that's not how you wrote.
No.
All right, let me ask you, looking at that document though that has your name on it, is there a date indicated on that document?
Yes.
Yes. You have an objection?
Yes.
Basis.
Document has been,
Basis.
a document has been disowned. No foundation.
Foundation, okay, that's what we're looking for, all right.
Your Honor, it's impeachment. And he's saying I don't want to do a speaking.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna overrule your objection, so you may proceed this time.
Is there a date on that document?
Yes.
Okay, what is the date?
7/7/2015.
Okay, and in looking at the document, you've had the opportunity to read this document previously?
Yes.
Okay, and is this document written in first person, meaning as if you wrote the document?
Your Honor, same objection.
Given what I've learned already about the witness, I'm gonna give him a little attitude, Mr. Steele. I'm gonna overrule your objection, okay? Ordinarily, I wouldn't allow them to leave, but I'm gonna, in this particular circumstance, make an exception, okay?
Is it written in first person?
Yes.
Okay, and so it says I, Officer Hutchins, right?
Correct.
Okay. And this document also has a date in which it was written, right?
Yes.
What is the date that the document was written?
July 7, 2015.
All right. And this same document was written closer in time to the incident that we're referring to, which was July 2015.
I can't say.
You can't say, but there's your signature.
It looks like man, but it's not man.
All right. And there's a date of July 7, 2015.
Ask and answer.
I stand the objection.
And so you're saying that you did not write this statement.
I don't recall
You don't recall?
writing this statement.
Okay. All right. And you do not recall writing the statement.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Who made that objection?
What, as
I'm sorry?
objection as an answer.
I sustain the objection.
Now, a few weeks ago, do you recall one of my investigators coming to your home?
Yes.
All right. And when my investigator came to your home, did the individual show you this document?
On his phone, yes.
Okay. And do you recall what you told him about your signature when he showed you the document on the phone?
Correct.
Okay. And what did you tell him about your signature?
I said at that time, it looked like mine.
Okay. And this same signature, was this the same document that he showed you on the phone?
It was so small I couldn't always see it, but it looks to be the same.
It looked to be the same document. Okay. Now, Mr. Hutchins, as it relates to, you said that you kind of had to escort these individuals from the hoverboards out of the mall. Was this your first time ever having to escort anyone out of the mall?
No.
And when you previously had to escort individuals out of the mall, do you always have to call the police when you're trying to escort individuals out of the mall?
That's relevant.
I sustain the objection.
On this incident day, back in July 2015, were the police called after this interaction with the individuals on hoverboards?
Yes, they were called, but I didn't call.
You did not call, but they were called. All right. Now, back in 2015, when you first encountered the individuals on hoverboards, did you know their names or who they were?
No.
Okay. 2015, is it safe to say you had never met those individuals prior to that interaction that you had with them on the hoverboards?
Correct.
All right. And at the conclusion of the interaction with those males, did you learn their names at any point in time?
After they left the mall,
How did you learn their names once they left the mall?
well, they are people that recognized them.
People at the mall had recognized them?
Right.
Okay. And who did you learn it to be?
Oh, I don't remember the name.
You don't remember who it is? All right. I'm going to show you what's already been admitted as State's Exhibits 184P. And I'm going to hand this to you. Sure. Yeah, 184. Mr. Ernst, and Ms. Sharon capabilities. And Mr. Hudson, I'm gonna show you right here. And for the jury's on the screen, Stacy Dillon 184P. Have you seen that picture before?
Yes.
Okay. And do you see yourself in Stacy Dillon 184P?
Yes.
And you can tell the jury, where are you at in Stacy Dillon 184P?
At the top of the escalator.
Okay. And at the top of the escalator, there's two individuals. Which one are you?
I'm the one on the left with the flag jacket.
With the flight jacket, with the vest on. All right. And now I'm going to show you what's been marked as Stacy Dillon 185P. And have you seen that picture before?
Yes.
All right. And looking at Stacy Dillon 185P, do you recognize the individual in 185P?
I don't recognize him, but that's the gentleman that I spoke to.
That's the gentleman that you spoke to. And when speaking about the two individuals, initially one stayed on the hoverboard and one came off the hoverboard. The individual in 185P, which one was he?
He was the one that said, get back on your hoverboard.
Okay, so he's the one that stayed on the hoverboard and directed the other person to get back onto the hoverboard.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And down at the ballet, when you said that people were cussing, was he one of those individuals that was cussing down at the ballet?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I didn't see him per se
Okay. So that's your testimony today. You did not see him per se.
because, like I said, once we got him out the building, I kind of checked out because we had already done our job.
Okay. And you were the one who first had the first interactions with these individuals?
Yes.
And you were the one who called Mr. May?
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna overrule the leading. I'll sustain the repetitive.
I know. Court's indulgence.
All right.
Just one last question, Mr. Hutchins. Earlier, you said that the demeanor, earlier, when you testified that the demeanor, that they weren't fussing and cussing towards you. Were they fussing and cussing towards anyone else earlier in the day? Earlier in your interaction?
No,
No, you don't recall that.
they were not.
Hold on, basis. I'm gonna overrule the objection.
Also objection.
I'll overrule the objection. I'll overrule the objection as to yours. One at a time, gentlemen. Mr. Matthews, yours is overruled, or yours is, overruled. What's your objection, sir?
District attorney mischaracterized the answer.
I'm gonna overrule your objection. Jury will be detailed to determine what they heard, okay? All right, anything else? All right,
I have no further questions.
any examination of Mr. Hutchins, gentlemen?
Very brief.
Okay, come on.
Not for each question in that corner.
You may, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
We all hope that you feel better and keep recovering.
Thank you.
Have you read what was shown to you as a number 190P? It's that document that the district attorney was asking you if your signature was on that?
Correct.
Okay. Do you know where that document is right now by any chance?
No, the original.
Yeah, is that it right there? Your Honor, may I approach 1 second?
You may.
May I approach you, sir?
Yes.
I'm going to show you this, and if you can't read it, just let us know, okay? I see you have reading glasses.
I'm ready.
With your permission and the court's permission, I just want to ask you a couple of questions of that document, okay? The district attorney was saying that it was written. Is that a written document or a typed document?
It's typed.
And the only part written would be at the bottom of that document, is that fair to say?
Yes.
With a, I'm not saying, I understand, it's your testimony, purportedly, meaning potentially or seemingly your signature and then the date of 7/7/2015. Is that true?
I mean, what's the question again?
That's the only handwritten
Yes.
part of 190P. Okay. And in that document, even the type part, you never mentioned anything about any of the people on the hoverboard being rude to you or Mr. May in the mall. Is that true?
Correct.
And what you do write is that you were being ignored and Mr. May was being ignored about your warning to please get off the hoverboard, and it could be a dangerous situation for them as well as others. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
And the people on the hoverboard made it known and they did leave the mall. Fair to say?
Yes.
And then they went peacefully to their car.
Yes.
And at that point, the way you recall is it was pretty much they were leaving. It was over. Any issue was over. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. But then in this statement, the 190P, it's written that Mr. May continued to ask them to leave the property. And I stress this, one of the males shouted he would come back and shoot Mr. May in the face. Do you remember that? Right, at least that's what it says. The last 2 lines.
That's what it says.
Okay. And you never identified anybody as saying that. You were just saying that it came from the car. Fair to say? If this is yours.
Well, all I heard, like I said, was a lot of profanity.
Okay. All right. And you don't know Mr. Jeffrey Williams, do you?
No,
And you don't know a performer known as Young Thug personally, do you?
no.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I can take that from you unless you need to see. Thank you, Your Honor.
Anyone else? Anything further from the state?
Mr. Steele just asked you if you knew Mr. Young Thug personally. Once this incident was over, did you learn if Young Thug was one of the individuals on the hoverboard?
Yes.
Yes, you did, but you did not know him personally.
No.
All right. And Mr. Steele asked you a lot about the statement that I asked you about earlier. And again, looking at Exhibit 190P, today your testimony is that you heard a lot of cursing. Looking at 190P and that last line, what is in that statement regarding what the individual in the car said upon leaving the location? So regarding that statement, do you have any memory writing that statement?
No.
You have no memory writing that statement. And it's your testimony today that you did not provide that statement to police officers?
I don't remember providing this statement at all.
Okay. Okay.
There's some things wrong with it.
All right. Thank you. No further questions.
Anything further?
Done yet, this way.
All right. Anyone else? Okay, may Mr. Hudson's be permanently or temporarily excused a witness?
He can be permanently excused.
All right, Ms. Hutchins, I'm going to permanently excuse you as a witness. Thank you for your patience with us. And please don't discuss your testimony with anybody except the attorneys in this case, okay?
All
All
right.
right, thank you, sir.
Hi,
Thank
Dan.
you.
I was telling the prosecuting attorney to sit down, lady. She was standing in the view of the camera. That's what I do. I just bitch. So thank you for being here. Could you imagine being the jury on this trial?
All right, call your next witness.
Yeah, our state calls Mark Stevens to say.
All right, summon Mark Stevens, please. Mr. Stevens, good morning, sir. Sir, if you could please approach the witness stand. Once you get there, if you'd be so kind to turn and face Sergeant Ingram, who's sworn as a witness before you sit down.
Yes, sir. Raise your right hand. First, just want to give the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Absolutely. Next, go to the first slide. For the court.
Mark, M-A-R-K, Stevens, S-T-E-V-E-N-S.
Mr. Stevens, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Stevens, are you currently employed?
I am not.
Where did you work prior?
In November, I retired as a police officer from the Dunwoody Police Department
And prior to your retirement, where did you work prior to your retirement?
with the Dunwoody Police Department.
How long did you work for the Dunwoody PD?
Almost 15 years.
Mr. Stevens, what unit were you assigned to during your time here?
When I was hired as a patrol officer. In 2016, I was transferred to the community outreach section.
What were some of your responsibilities as a patrol officer?
To answer 911 calls or any other call for service, enforce traffic laws, and those were our two primary.
And what year were you assigned to the patrol unit?
I started in 2009 with the Dunwoody Police Department and I was a patrol officer until January of 2016.
And were you court certified during this time?
Yes, sir, I was.
So on or about July 7, 2015, did you respond to a call at the Perimeter Mall?
Yes, I did.
What was the nature of that call?
It was a threats call.
After you arrived on scene, who did you speak with?
I met with the Director of Security, Chris May.
And to your knowledge, was the person who made the threat still on scene?
No.
Were you given any vehicle information to identify the person who made the threat?
Yes, sir. It was a white four-door Jaguar with a partial Georgia temporary plate.
And were you able to get any information with this partial tag?
No, sir. Unfortunately, there was a digit missing, so no returns were available.
Mr. Stevens, who else did you speak with to identify the person who made the threat?
After I spoke with Mr. May and I both spoke with a gentleman named Reggie. He's the manager at Champ Sports.
Without telling me what he said, were you able, was the manager of Champs able to identify it?
Yes, he was.
What was the name of the person he identified?
He identified the subject that made a previous purchase as a rapper known as Young Thug.
Was Mr. May able to identify the person who threatened him?
Yes, he was.
And how did Mr. May identify the person?
Mr. May did an images search on his phone and pulled up a picture where he identified that person, in the photograph was the one that made the threat against him.
And once you learned the person's name was Young Thug, what did you do?
At the time, I was just still gathering more information. Once I was done with that and left the mall, I went back to do I did some further searches to try and determine a government name for the individual known as Young Thug.
And what did you determine the legal name to be?
I was able to determine it was Jeffrey Williams.
Did you prepare an incident, a report for this incident?
Yes, sir, I did.
Mr. Stevens, do you recall what the language of the threat was?
It was paraphrased. Mr. May did not provide an actual quote. He just said that Young Thug said that he would shoot Mr. May in the face.
Did you take out any arrest warrants or any other additional charges?
No, sir, I did not. I completed my incident report and forwarded it to the case investigator, and the investigator is the one that swore out a warrant.
And did that complete your involvement with this case?
Yes, sir, it did.
Court's indulgence.
Yes, sir.
wish I had better audio. Okay, Dan. You two were on my conical crew, but I said
Do you
yeah.
recall
But
Mr.
not
Hutchins being present?
The name I do not recall off the top of my head. It's possible that that might have been one of the security officers involved, but the name does not. I don't recall the name off the top of my head. No.
Do you recall the demeanor of any of the perimeter mall employees?
I stand the question.
Do you remember being present during this interaction?
I was not actually there, so I did not witness the interaction between the mall personnel and any other individuals. The only persons I spoke to were Mr. May and then the gentleman at the Champ Sports, Reggie. There were other security individuals that were involved with the incident. They actually spoke with the investigator and not with me.
Objection, that's outside the witness's knowledge.
I'll overrule the objection.
No further questions.
All right. Cross.
Good morning, former officer.
Good morning, Counselor.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
If you need to see anything with the report to refresh your memory, just let us know. If it's in front of you, just let us know that you're looking at something, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just want to ask you a couple of things. I think this is clear, just to breeze through this. You were not there at the time this supposed incident occurred. Is that fair to say?
That is correct.
You get a call later through your dispatcher coworkers to come to Perimeter Mall and you do it from the unit.
That is correct.
And when you arrived at Perimeter Mall, you met with two people. First, you met with who pronounced themselves as the security officer for the mall, named Mr. May, Christopher May. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir. I met with him first.
And you got there, you don't have any information, so you needed to get information from Mr. May.
That is correct.
And he provided you information.
That is correct.
He was cooperative with you.
Yes, sir.
And you took notes.
Yes.
And then those notes get memorialized, is my word, but written down into a police report or an incident report. Is that all fair to say?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
And do that timely because you go on different events for the community. So this way, when it's fresh in your mind, you write down. Fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And that's what you did in this case, right?
That is correct.
And in fact, your report, let me just make sure I'm right. It's dated the same day, 7/7/15, which is July 7th, 2015.
Yes, sir. I looked at it earlier. It was written the same day of the reported incident.
Okay. And I want to talk to you about some things that Mr. May told you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. May explained to you that there were three men inside a white Jaguar vehicle. Is that fair to say?
At the end of the incident, yes. Initially, it started in the mall.
Okay. And we could go backwards, but that's the issue we're dealing with.
That is correct.
Okay. Anything you need to say beforehand, just let me know. You can tell the jurors, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm just getting to the issues we're dealing with.
Yes, sir.
All right. And Mr. May explained that it was a four-door Jaguar vehicle he was dealing with.
That is correct.
And they gave you a partial tag, that's why you couldn't run the numbers. It was just missing a digit.
Yeah, I believe it was missing one digit. Yes.
And then according to Mr. May, he explained to you that the rear passenger told you that if Mr. May continued to approach, he would shoot Mr. May in the face with a gun. Remember that?
That's essentially my recollection from reading the incident report. Yes.
And it was that Mr. May was approaching the person, and the person said, "Get back, otherwise," and whatever the statement is, he would shoot Mr. May in the face with a gun. That's what Mr. May said.
That is correct.
Okay. This isn't on any recording, right?
As far as I know, it is not, sir. It wasn't recorded by me.
And when you're there at the mall, nobody else came up to you and corroborated that corroborated means
Yes, sir.
supported.
Yes, sir.
Say the same thing. That Mr. Williams, the young thug, made that statement. Is that fair to say?
During that incident, yes, that's correct.
And then Mr. May also told you that after that statement was made, then Mr. May backed away and allowed the Jaguar vehicle to leave the mall. True?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
That Mr. May was holding the Jaguar vehicle at that time. He wouldn't let it leave. That's what he told you, right?
What he told me, he was trying to get them to cooperate. The only thing Mr. May wanted to do is issue them a criminal trespass ban and was trying to get them to cooperate.
And the jurors may not know what a criminal trespass ban is. That means that a person or people are notified, please don't come back on this property.
That is correct. It has nothing to do with any certain type of, they have the right to say, we have a reason to ask you not to come back to the mall again. If you are, you can be prosecuted for it. So that is correct.
And because Mr. May, to his satisfaction, did not get that message across, he was detaining that vehicle. That would explain it to you.
He never said anything about detaining. That I don't.
If you want to use.
That I don't know.
He wouldn't let the vehicle leave.
When I was told after the threat was made, he backed off and let them leave.
Okay. Then, just to complete the picture for the jurors, there was a belief that Mr. Williams and others purchased many shoes at Champs Sports. You know what Champs sells? Do you remember?
Sports equipment and I know some shoes, jerseys. Yes, sir. I'm familiar with it.
So you realize if we go there, maybe a credit card was used.
I didn't, that was not my idea. Mr. May said that the initial incident started outside the Champs Sports. He was under the impression that there had been a purchase made, so we might have been able to identify someone through that purchase.
And that's what you did.
That is correct.
No gun was alleged to have been shown, right?
As far as I know, no one, Mr. May did not report that to me. No gun.
Anything about a firearm being shown?
That is correct.
No one said anyone came back.
That is correct. I was not told they returned.
Okay. You wrote this up as a disorderly conduct. Do you remember that?
Do you mind if I take a look at it? I don't know if I didn't. On the incident report that I have, sir, the crime incident is listed as assault intimidation.
Do you see the top? They were looking at different reports. See the top center, and otherwise looking at approach to see what you're looking at.
Yes, sir. I have the incident report that, and I'm working.
Right, may I approach and see what you're looking at?
You may.
Counselor, this is the incident report that I did. If it starts with Domoney Police Department, the crime is listed here. The one that I have is assault intimidation.
Can I look at it for a second?
Absolutely.
You might not want to turn the page.
No. Absolutely. And then that's the end of my report there. It's just the initial back, this, and then name there. And then starting there is just further information.
I'm showing you, you know what, let me show you this is your
Well, Counselor, but I see what you're saying. I don't know why it is. It might have been changed because right here it says.
discussion with that. Let me just show you.
Yes, sir. But I'm just saying, did you see that one too, though?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure you saw
Show
it.
it.
No, absolutely.
I'm not going to interrupt you.
It's not a problem.
Sorry, I just want to show. These are documents you brought in. approach you again, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, I just want to show.
No, certainly.
All right.
Just remember.
So if you don't mind looking at, I think yours is, what is that, page 3?
Yes,
That you were looking at?
that is correct.
And that's your incident report, right?
It has my name down at the bottom as the reporting officer, yes.
Okay. I'd like you to look also at page 25 on the lower right, and I handed it to you. I showed the district attorney already.
Yes, sir.
That's your,
Objection, Your Honor.
Gracious.
I believe that's the witness's report.
Let me see it, please. What are you questioning from, Mr. Steele?
May I step? That's all right.
Okay, let me see yours, please, Mr. Steele. Can I see yours again, please? Okay. Mr. Steele, in order to ask him, I'll sustain his objection. In order for you to ask more questions, you're probably going to need to clarify what you're showing him.
can you turn to page, what is listed 25 on the documents you brought with you?
Yes, Counselor.
Okay. And is that your reporting officer narrative?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And is that either substantially or identical to what's on page 3 of the same document you came, which is also reporting officer narrative, except for what's in the center top?
The center, the narrative appears to be the exact same on both pages. There is slightly different wording at the top and at the bottom.
Now, my question to you is, do you know how on page 25, whether you put in disorderly conduct in the center for the offense?
To be honest with you, I do not recall how I termed it.
All right. Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury how the report, your report, got changed or altered from page 3 to page 25 specifically from the offense, like you told the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what you were looking at, assault, intimidation versus disorderly conduct? Can you explain to them how that changed?
Unfortunately, I do not. When we file an incident report, we select a crime type or types. It is chosen by the reporting officer. Once we submit that report, we don't have the ability to change the type, the narrative, anything. It seems that one is dated 2015, listing disorderly conduct, and one is dated printed out 2022 lists assault intimidation, but that could not have been done by me. I don't know how that happened, to be honest with you.
You wouldn't have done that, would you?
No, our system doesn't give us the ability to go back and modify.
And the disorderly conduct is the reporting officer narrative that was in July 7, 2015. Is that fair to say?
Yes, it says date and time of the report is July 7th. This was printed on July 9th and listed as disorderly conduct.
That's pretty much concluded your work on this case. Is that fair to say?
That is correct. After the incident report, the detective handled the case from there.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Council.
Any further examination? Any further redirect, sir?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Mr. Stevens, at the time you were interacting with Mr. May, what security personnel? If you recall. If you recall.
I only spoke directly with Mr. May. I know there were other personnel there on property, but I did not interact with any of them. The case investigator ended up speaking with the other personnel.
And if you recall, did anyone contradict what Mr. May stated his statement to you?
No, they did not.
I'll object to the form of the question.
Basis, I stay in the form of the question. So you can rephrase if you like.
Did anyone say that Mr. May's statement was not true?
No, they did.
Your Honor.
Still, I sustain that objection.
Was this a direct quote by Mr. May?
No, a direct quote was not provided to me.
Mr. Steele asked you if Mr. May said, if you approach, I will shoot you in the face. And these were not, were these exact, Mr. May's exact words?
No, sir. I paraphrase what is said. If a direct quote such as "my name is Smith" is used, I use quotation marks to note that that is a direct quote used by an individual. Without direct quotes is only paraphrased.
Did you put? No further questions.
Anything further?
No.
All right. At this point in time, may Mr. Stevens be permanently temporarily excused as a witness?
Permanently, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Stevens, I'm going to permanently excuse you as a witness. Appreciate your patience with us. Just don't discuss testimony with anybody except the attorneys in this case, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Call your next witness.
Your Honor, state called Sergeant Sean Lenahan to the stand.
Sergeant Lanahan?
Lenahan.
Lanahan. All right. Summon Sergeant Lanahan, please. Sergeant Lanahan, good morning, sir. Sir, if you would please approach the witness stand. Once you get there, if you would turn and face Sergeant Ingram and be sworn as a witness before you sit down, sir.
I do like this judge though. I do want to say that.
Raise your hand.
I don't care for
Hold to the picture.
I do.
attorney. Just saying.
Sergeant Sean Lenahan, first name S-E-A-N, last name L-E-N-A-H-A-N. L-E-N, no, N is in November, A-H-A-N. Yes.
And Sergeant Lenahan, where are you on?
With the Dunwoody, City of Dunwoody Police Department,
And how long have you been with the city of Dunwoody Police Department?
11 years.
And what's your current assignment?
I'm a patrol supervisor, sergeant on the road,
And how long have you served as a sergeant?
since 2015.
And prior to your role as sergeant, what did you do in Dunwoody?
Prior to that, I was a detective in our criminal investigative division, and prior to that, I was a patrol officer.
And how long did you serve as an investigator within the criminal investigation division?
From 2012 to 2015, so 3 years.
And are you post-certified?
I am.
And were you post-certified on July 7, 2015?
Yes.
If you can tell the jury briefly, what were some of your job and responsibilities as an investigator in the criminal investigation division?
To follow up on any criminal needs that we may have for on different cases, different types of cases, to make arrests, also to I guess make court appearances and things like that in reference to cases.
Now, in the Delaware Police Department, as an investigator in the criminal investigation division, did you have a particular area that you were assigned, or did you handle any case that came up in all of them?
Any case that came up in the city of Dunwoody.
And Perimeter Mall, is that within the city of Dunwoody?
Yes.
I want to direct your attention to July 7, 2015. Did you have the occasion to investigate a terrorist threat incident that occurred at that location?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you first get involved with the investigation?
There was a police report made, and it got assigned to me.
And who made the police report?
Officer Mark Stevens.
Officer Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, was that a yes?
I'm sorry, yes, ma'am.
All right. And what was your understanding of what you had to investigate?
My understanding was that there were two gentlemen at the time riding foot scooters or hoverboards.
Yes, sir.
Who was that?
Is that Mr. Steele? Yeah.
Sorry for objection. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, the testimony, yes. Copy of the seal on the ears. Mark Stevens just testified.
Yeah, I'm gonna, well, why don't you, I'm gonna sustain the objection, lay a little more foundation.
When you got the police report, did you review it?
Yes, I did.
And once you reviewed it, what was your understanding of what you needed to investigate?
Objection.
I'll overrule the objection.
Go ahead.
Okay. My understanding was a terroristic threat of a person threatening to shoot another person in the face with a gun.
And in order to investigate what occurred, what did you do?
So I set up a meeting with the witness and the victim, or the victim and the witnesses that were present. And then I went over to the mall and met with the three, I think it was three witnesses and the victim. And I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. So then I asked them to write statements, and then I would come back and pick them up. Each person to write their own statement, and I would come back and pick it up. And then I left the scene, or I left the office, and then I went back and did other things and came back and picked it up another day.
So let's slow that down.
Okay.
You went super fast.
Okay.
All right. So you said that your responsibility was to investigate the terrorist threat.
Correct.
And when did you first get the police report handed to you? Do you recall?
I believe it was July 7th, 2015.
And let me first ask, on July 7th, 2015, when you first get the report from Officer Stevens, did you go to the mall on that day or another day?
I believe it was the next day or the day after. I'm not sure the exact day, but it was shortly after that, yes.
And when you went to the mall, what did you do?
I met with them in the security office.
So let me ask you, said them.
I'm sorry, the victim, Chris May, and the three witnesses, turned out to be three witnesses that were present during the threat.
Okay, so you said Chris May was the victim. Who were the three witnesses that you met with?
The exact names, I think Hutchins was the last name of one of them. The other one was, can I look at my notes or do you want?
Well, let me approach. We're looking at a copy of your report. Refresh your memory as to who you spoke with.
It wouldn't, yeah.
Okay. I want to show you what will be on State Exhibit 191. Peek, and I can show you. I'm going to show him the entire paper. I'm going to Oh, thank you. What's been labeled as Exhibit 191P to help refresh your memory. I'm going to direct your attention specifically to pages 28 through 31. Tell me if that helps refresh your memory as to the three witnesses that you know.
Christopher May is the victim, and then, yes, Officer Hutchins and Campbell and Barron.
And first with Officer Hutchins, what was Officer Hutchins' first name?
Dwight.
And what about Officer Kimmel?
Officer Campbell, I don't remember his first name.
Okay. And what about, you said the other one was Barron?
Yes, his name is Jonathan.
All right. And you said you met with them at Perimeter Mall. Where in Perimeter Mall did you meet?
In the security office.
And while in the security office, were all four of them together, the victim and the three witnesses?
Yes, they were present.
What do you recall about your initial interaction with Mr. May, Mr. Hutchins, Mr. Barron, Mr. Campbell while in security?
They seemed concerned about the threat and the possibility of it being carried out. They didn't.
Just hold on.
Confrontation clause,
You heard his observation.
not an observation.
Right.
I'll sustain the question as to form. Why don't you rephrase?
What was your observation of the individuals as you were speaking with them?
I observed them to be concerned about the possibility of the threat being carried out, and that they were wondering and asking questions about what we might.
I'm overruling the objection.
Go ahead.
They were asking about what was going to be, what were the next steps, what was going to happen after we met.
And while you met with the four individuals, did you instruct them to do anything?
Yes.
What did you instruct them to do?
I instructed them to individually make statements or write statements as to their recollection of the events,
Why did you ask them to each write their own statement?
because that would be their individual. It wouldn't be one collective statement. It would be that they individually stated what they saw happen or what they recollect of the event.
And did you tell them how to write it? Did you tell them to type this and handwrite it?
No, well, I instructed them to handwrite it, but then they came back and they typed it.
So you gave instructions for handwriting, but then they typed it.
Objection, asked and answered.
I sustain the objection. That's the answer.
When you first met with them, did they give you their statements on that day?
No, they did not.
Once you gave them the instructions to write a statement out, what did you do? Did you leave?
Yes, I left.
And do you recall did you go back to get the statements?
I did.
When did you go back to get the statements?
I came back. It was I would say it's about a day later. It's a day and a half.
And when you went back to get the statements, where did you go?
Back to the security office.
And what happened once you went back to get the statement at the security office?
They each gave me their statement from their hand to mine. They directly gave it to me.
When you say they each gave you their statement,
Mhm.
explain.
I asked them each for their statements, and they took the paper and handed it to me.
So Mr. May gave you his statement?
Correct.
Did Mr. Hutchins give you his statement?
Yes, correct.
Did Mr. Barron give you his statement?
Yes,
And Mr. Campbell gave you his statement?
yes.
Did you ask them any questions about their statements?
No, it did not.
And I think you just specified when they gave you back the statements, were they handwritten or typed?
They were typed. Hand signed though. They had handwritten signatures. Mhm.
Once they gave you their statements, did they appear that they were forced to give you the statements?
No,
Did they appear as if they didn't want to give you the statements?
no.
Permission to approach?
You may.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 190P. Do you recognize State's Exhibit 190P?
Exactly the same as you showed.
That's the same one I gave you from earlier.
I recognize it as Mr. Dwight Hutchins' statement.
And is that the same statement that you received from the White Hutchins pens back in July 2015?
Yes.
And does that appear to be the type statement with the signature of the White Hutchins that you received from him back in July 2015?
Yes.
Your Honor, this kind of thing like the tender states is in the 190 key into evidence.
And objection states 190P.
Yes, sir. It's a written document. We cannot go back with the jury, and it's not, there's no question, just identify something.
Can you all approach a second, please? Okay, it's talk radio.
Can't hear him, Judge.
Objection, Mr. Steele, I'll notice continuing. You may, madam.
Okay. Now, Mr. Sergeant Lenny, I want you to read it from top to bottom.
Just a statement, madam.
Just a statement.
Just a statement. The entirety of it.
Okay. On July 7th, 2015 at 16:40 p.m., I, Officer Hutchins, approached two black males about to go down the center court escalator on a motorized mini Segway. I spoke to both the males and advised them that they could not ride the mini Segway in the mall due to mall policy, and it's very dangerous to get on the escalators riding them also. The two males ignored me and mall policy that I quoted them. I then called dispatch to advise them of the situation, and I also told them to call Dunwoody. Director May then called and asked for my location. He met me at the lower level Macy's in front of Champs. We waited on the two males to come out of Champs. As they exited the store, Director May spoke with them and also quoted the mall policy to them again, and they also ignored. They kept riding the Segways to the center court and was saying that that we are leaving, as Mr. May was telling them that they needed to get off the mini Segways. They went on the escalator on the Segway and out upper level Main. Mr. May was still trying to get their attention while advising them of the mall policy. Outside upper level Main, they were greeted by Supervisor Barron and Campbell, who also quoted mall policy to them, and they ignored them also. At East Main Valet, where they were parked, Mr. May was asking them to leave the property, and one of the males shouted out that they would come back and shoot Mr. May in the face, and from there, Mr. May told dispatch to call Dunwoody Police.
And was that then signed by Mr. Hutchins?
Yes, it was.
And was the date of the signature?
7/7/2015.
And again, this is what Mr. Hutchins handed to you.
Yes.
All right. Now, when Mr. Hutchins gave this to you, either on the day you picked it up or when you first gave him the instructions, did he appear as if he understood what you were asking him to do?
Yes.
Did Mr. Hutchins ever indicate to you or give you any indication that he was forced to write this statement?
No.
When he handed it to you, did he give you any indication that that was not his words or what he was relaying happened?
No.
When you initially gave the instructions to write your statement, did Mr. Hutchins ask you any questions? Do you remember him asking you any questions about what to write in the statement?
I don't know. No.
Now, once you received all of the statements from Mr. May, Mr. Hutchins, Mr. Barron, and Mr. Campbell, what did you do next?
I left the location.
Did you eventually take out charges for Mr. Jeffrey Williams?
I did.
And what charge did you take out?
One count of terroristic threats.
And why did you take out the terroristic threats warrant?
I had corroboration of
Relevant.
Basic. I'm overrule the objection.
I took out the threat because I had the corroboration of 3 witnesses that heard the threat, and the threat is to harm or seriously injure or kill Mr. May.
Use the word corroboration, what does that mean?
The three witnesses all had the same recollection of what happened, and they stated that to me.
If you did not have corroboration, we would take out the warrants.
No.
After taking out this warrant, as it relates to solely the terroristic threats portion of it, did that include your involvement?
Yes.
Holy crap. Yippee!
Cross.
Hi, sweetheart.
Oh, before you begin, I'll admit, it's just H-190.
Yes. When
I'll admit with the objections that were made.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'd like to answer you some questions. Start with corroboration, okay?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the jury, the 3 witnesses you're talking about is Mr. Hutchins, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Barron, correct?
Correct.
Barron, if that sounds right.
That sounds correct. I'm not sure.
And Mr. Campbell, Campbell, fair?
Yes.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen, the jury, whether any of those witnesses said that Mr. Jeffrey Williams, young thug, person in the back seat, person in the front seat, made that statement that you're telling the jurors.
Objection, compound question.
That's the standard question. You just break it up, Mr. Steele.
Did Mr. Barron say that Jeffrey Williams, young thug, or a specific person identified in any way made that statement that we're talking about? To corroborate Mr. May's statement that it was said by Mr. Williams.
No, they did not.
Did Mr. Campbell say in any way that it was Mr. Williams, young thug, or, a description of this is the person sitting here wearing this, looking like that, made that supposed statement?
In their statement or just? Okay. Not in their statement.
Okay. And did Mr. Hutchins, the jurors already saw it? Did you read it? He also said one of the people said that, right?
Correct.
And that was consistent throughout, correct?
Correct.
Now, when you explain to the jury, I think you remember meeting with these 3 people and Mr. May in a room. Is that what you said?
Correct. The security office.
And do you know what was discussed, if anything, about this incident, about what supposedly went on and what people heard before these statements were written between the 3 of them or 4 of them?
No, sir, I don't.
You wouldn't have any knowledge.
No, sir.
And when you were asked by the district attorney whether you took out a warrant for terroristic threats, you're aware the district attorney office in DeKalb County dismissed this case, correct?
Yes.
For no corroboration, correct?
Objection, speculation.
I'll sustain the objection.
Do you have it in your report in front of you?
That is what that says.
I couldn't hear you. I apologize.
It says lack sufficient corroboration that the threat would be consumed or consummated.
And it's me, I'm confident it's me, but I couldn't hear the end. You said lack sufficient corroboration, then you started to say something.
I'm just continuing to read. It said, was conditional and lacks sufficient corroboration that the threat would and could be consummated.
And that was pretty much your end of the saga in this incident, correct?
Yes.
Just so the jurors know, there's no recordings or anything that you could share with them about meeting with any witness. Is that fair to say?
No, sir.
Am I correct?
You're correct.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any other examination? Any further questions from the state?
Sergeant Linehan, Mr. Still asked you about whether or not in any of the witness statements did they mention Mr. Williams or Young Thug? You recall that?
I do.
With all of the statements, did they indicate how many males made that statement? They said one male, two male. Did they indicate?
I think they did say one of the males makes the statement in each one, but they didn't specify.
Just confirm that they say one of the males.
Basis. I sustain the question.
Given what Mr. Steele asked you, and looking at any of those things, would it have a fresher memory as to how the witness identified the individual who made the threat about shooting someone?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Sure. Looking at the three statements, would it help refresh your memory as to how they identified the person who made the threat?
They identified the male that made the threat by looking at him and then speaking with the manager at Champs, and then the photos on the internet is how they identified exactly who he is. The manager at Champs said that it was.
Sustain objection.
When each of the individuals who wrote their statements, you had three witnesses,
Yes, ma'am.
did they indicate if it was only one of the males that made that statement about shooting?
Only one of the males, yes.
Only one of them. Now, Mr. Still asked you a lot about what the district attorney's office did. As a law enforcement officer, do you have control over how the district attorney's office disposed of their cases?
Oftentimes, no.
All the time. When you took out your warrant, did you, based on your experience, take it out based on the corroboration that you had?
Yes.
In your experiences, has the district attorney's office in DeKalb has done things opposite than the warrants that she's taken out?
Yes.
So this is not the first time that has happened for you?
No.
I have no further questions.
Anything further, sir?
Sergeant, point to where in any of your reports dealing with what we're calling the three witnesses, Mr. Hutchins, Mr. Campbell, or Mr. Barron, does it say anything about looking at a photograph, identifying young thug, identifying Mr. Williams as the person who made that statement?
From the witnesses?
Sure, that's what we're
Well,
talking about.
It's in the victim's written statement.
Okay, but now you say the victim, that's Mr. May.
Right.
I'm ignoring because you separated him from the three witnesses.
Well, when they went back to the store,
Matt, which of you look at the report done by Officer Stevens?
no, I'm looking at Mr. May's statement.
Okay, well, okay.
Mr. May's statement is when they went back to, I'm sorry.
Well, let's be specific. Who is they?
Okay.
You know, you can, I don't mind talking, but just, you said we're they in Mr. May's statement. Who are you?
Officer Stevens arrived and together we went to Champs, where the manager of Champs, Reggie, informed us that the male who was on the device was a known rapper by the name Young Thug.
Now, that is Mr. May, Christopher May,
Yes.
according to Mr. May's statement, right?
Yes.
Officer Stevens, a coworker of yours at that time,
Yes.
and speaking with a gentleman from Champs.
Correct.
I just want to make sure. That's the entirety, right?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything further? Mistake.
No, I'm gonna say,
All right. At this point in time, Sergeant Lanahan be permanently or temporarily excused as a witness.
you be permanently excused.
All right, Sergeant Lanahan, appreciate your patience with us. I'm going to go ahead and permanently excuse you as a witness, so you're free to go about your usual duties and avocation. Just don't discuss your testimony with anybody except the attorneys in this case, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about almost 10 after 12. How about some lunch? All right, excellent. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and recess once I finish all my announcements and pronouncements to you, and ask you to come back for 1:30. Okay. Remember all of my ad nauseum admissions to you at this point in time. In particular, are you okay? Are you allowed to, now that you've heard some more testimony, discuss the matter in your headquarters jury deliberation room? No, you're not. Okay, all right. And remember all the other things that I told you in terms of just your behavior up to this point in time. Do not discuss this case amongst yourselves in onesies and twosies. Don't discuss anything that you might have heard in the courtroom today until such time as the court gives you instructions on how you to consider what you've heard within the four walls of this courtroom. If anybody should try and touch base with you in any form of transmission, email, text, phone call, or otherwise try and talk to you in person, please, you need to let Sergeant Ingram know immediately and let me know. All right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like for the after we come back from lunch, we should have a regular workday conclusion, and then we'll see where the rest of the week leads us at that point. Okay. Any questions of me? Okay. All right. Enjoy your lunch, and we'll see you back at 1:30. Okay. All right. All rise. He's ready to go. He's been ready. So. Okay, our jurors left us. You may be seated. All right, councilors, I'll see you all back for 1:30, okay? And we'll start back then. All right? Okay, we're in recess.
Sorry.
All right, they're in recess. But, see, I hate commercials. Or not commercials. I hate waiting. So obviously I started, Hold on. So anyways, this is what's up. We're not going to have to wait that long because I started right from the beginning. So hold on. They should be back in a few minutes. So what we're going to do is go over a video I did yesterday. Okay. Because I'm sick of families being abused. Whoa.
Unknown caller.
Oh, I ain't answering that. I don't know who that is. I don't ever answer phone calls that are unknown. How about you guys? Oh, hold on. I got a situation here. So, Savannah Soda's family is being harassed from social media. And of course, we got our favorite advocate, aka BHB. Let's listen.
Child. The bodies of 18-year-old Savannah Soto and 22-year-old Matthew Guerra were found the day after Christmas. The father of Matthew Guerra told us police did not find any guns or cell phones in the car where the bodies were discovered. The medical examiner has since ruled the deaths as homicides.
And police have recently released videos of two persons of interest. The video shows a man driving a dark pickup truck described by police as a Chevy Silverado with a bed cover, and another person driving Guerra's Kia Optima. Chief McManus said the video was taken nearby where the bodies were found. Anyone with information on the case should reach out to SAPD's homicide unit. Meanwhile, the family of Savannah Soto says they were upset with social media comments about Savannah and Guerra.
And they're also asking the public to quit playing detective and let the police do their job so justice can come swiftly. KENS 5's
The Soto family says a lot of the comments they are seeing on social media are hurtful and they want it to stop. They also say there are a lot of people sharing false information about the investigation.
It's not 100%, and we just ask that you just, don't share it. Like, all you're doing is slowing down the process.
The family of Savannah Soto say they are trying to grieve in peace, but say false statements on social media are upsetting.
And it's very upsetting, not just to me, to my family, but to my son. And I just wish that people would just stop and let the police, the detectives do their job, do it the right way, so we can get justice for my granddaughter.
Savannah's aunt Valerie Mendoza says with everyone trying to play detective and making false accusations is not helpful.
That's not helping us. Like, I've already removed myself from a lot of social media because of it. Everybody has negative comments, and she wasn't innocent. They weren't, innocent, but they're young.
The family says the negative comments are painful as they try and mourn and process the deaths. They say no one in this world is perfect and appreciate all the prayers, love, and support they have received.
Let us grieve by ourselves without negativity comments out there. Because if it was somebody else's child, we will respect their privacy. And that's all we want. We just want everybody to respect our privacy, to let us mourn our way.
The family has also addressed fake fundraisers in the community, including several fake GoFundMes that have popped up. There are only two official GoFundMes, one for Savannah and one for Matthew. We have posted those links on KENS5.com. Mike Jimenez, KENS 5.
Okay, Mike, thank you.
Okay. Let's see. I want to show you guys this family. All right, I'm going to speed her up a little bit. All right. This stuff breaks my heart when people do this to families. Here we go.
These young kids off the street because it hurts some family members' feelings. Unfortunately, that's not, I feel for them, but, and I don't want people to think that because they live this lifestyle, they deserve this to happen to them, because nobody deserves this. But in all the same sense, how it's falling a little on deaf ears, in my opinion, to come here and blame social media. Because let's face it, social media did not do this to your family. They didn't do this to your family a year ago. They didn't do this to your family today. Social media is out there trying to help your family and trying to advocate for your family and trying to find the people that are responsible for doing this to your family. Despite the,
Okay.
People.
We are not detectives. Number one, a true advocate will not address a family like this. This is all my opinion.
Putting their own lives in danger, releasing information to help your family. We did not cause this gang problem. This gang problem was yours and yours alone to have. This is a gang life. This is the result of gang life. Instead of sitting here and blaming social media because we're not being as sympathetic as you would like, maybe like Cinema Shogun says, maybe start talking to the young people in your community about how this lifestyle will kill them. Or maybe start doing.
See, come on now, BHV. How can you do this to this family? Well, hey, I take that back. You've done it to almost every family that you have covered.
Something to save somebody else so no other parent has to go through this. Try that out for size before you come here to social media, because let me tell you, I care about your grandchild. I care about that unborn baby, and I actually.
No, you don't. No, you don't. See, if you were a parent or a grandma, you would understand. I have 4 kids, 9 grandbabies.
Actually care about Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerrera despite their lifestyle.
Wow.
But I'm absolutely 100% disgusted that this entire family knew and associates. Let's get that fact straight, Grandma, Auntie.
Oh my God, you are evil. You are evil. You're the problem. You're one of the problems. I'm embarrassed to be in true crime.
You're all associating with this
Oh my
nonsense.
God.
So before you come here to social media, blaming the people here at social media, please start helping save somebody else. Because I can honestly tell you, for me,
they are grieving right now. Give them time. Let the detectives, law enforcement, do their job, because we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
this is not a case I want to cover.
Sorry.
I can guarantee for a lot of people here on social media that is covering this case, we don't want to cover this. Let me tell you guys another.
Okay, you don't want to. Don't put me in that category. Okay, we don't want to cover it. Whatever.
There's another smart fact. The only reason why I'm not sitting there right now doing this on boots on the ground is because their community terrifies the shit out of me. That's why I'm not there in person. It's literally an 18-hour drive.
I'm glad you're not. But no, you're making it about you.
Which I've done 1,000 times. We could have been there at that vigil, but quite frankly, I don't feel like putting my life in jeopardy to cover this story.
Oh my God.
So let's clear the air about, the comments and stuff, where let's just break it down. I feel it's too dangerous for me to go out there and cover this case in person. That's a problem.
No.
So again, I'm sorry
The problem would be you showing up there.
that this girl has lost her life, and I'm sorry Fabian is not going to be able to meet the world. But let me just be very, very ultra clear. It's not me. It's not the commentators, nor is it anybody else here on social media that did this. And I understand the need of wanting your privacy and wanting your time to grieve. We here on social media, we don't get to grieve until the assailant is locked up. But don't think, and granted, we're not in the pain that you're in, and I understand that. But please don't be so critical of the people here on social media and acting like we don't give a damn. Because I promise you, we do. We care a lot. And we want to know what kind of monster could do this to your daughter, your niece, your granddaughter. And we will continue that fight despite of the commentary.
Yes. Their daughter, their niece, not ours.
Coming from the family. Again, we have to respect their feelings. I can't imagine, no matter, and like this, guys.
Did you really say that? We got to respect their feelings, and you're doing this?
And I really do want to put this in perspective. No matter what they lived, okay? No matter what kind of lifestyle they lived. Gangs or no gangs. Gangs or no gangs. They didn't deserve this. Gotta
Okay.
love some of these websites. So maybe we could all take a little lesson from this.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we could. And maybe this is a great opportunity for us to say, you know, we support this family, even when the victims aren't perfect, because let's face it, who out here in this world are perfect?
That's
I can
right.
tell you, I
That's right. None of us.
made horrible decisions that almost lost me my life. That I can honestly sit here and tell you right now as a true hardcore fact. I lived in a lifestyle, not this lifestyle, something similar, but not this. There were only a few times that I literally feared for my life, not on a daily basis. And I got to tell you, it's hard to talk about this because we're trying to be sympathetic. We can't even imagine what this family has to be going through, the pain, the agony. I mean, it was a precious baby.
Who's we? Don't put me in that category.
Anybody's heart doesn't get wrapped up in that, I don't know what kind of human being you are, you know? So we have to be sympathetic, but I in my good conscience and in who I am as a human being, I can't sit here and be deceitful to my audience in an effort to paint somebody's
But you can to the family
member in a better light. I'm sorry. The bottom line is these two children, and I'm going to call them children because that's what they were. They made a lot of poor and bad decisions with the support of their family.
Oh my God. Wow.
Let me repeat that again. They made a lot of poor and bad decisions with the support of their family. Now, you can say I'm misinformed and I'm spreading misinformation, but those are the facts of the case. And again, I didn't do those. I'm still going to advocate for the victims. We're still going to be putting up stuff to help try to locate the assailant. But you guys also know that
there's never been anybody on social media that has solved a case. I've heard you say YouTube. No, they weren't YouTubers. Okay.
that I look at the behavior of law enforcement in a situation like this, and law enforcement has gotten dead silent. There's not a whole lot of information.
Well, yeah, because of people like you.
Coming out about this case. That's a good thing. Okay. It's a good thing. It means they're working and they've got a good handle on what's going on and they probably know who the key players are. And that's why they're not asking for, involvement. This is going to be, outside of some upcoming and breaking news, I'm not going to be covering Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerrera, because in all fairness, I do think we are going to still keep investigating this case, and I'm going to do my searches every day, but there's no point in talking about a case that has no new information coming up on it. We don't manufacture information. We don't need 1,000 talking.
It's funny you say that. Look at what cases you spend months and months and months and months on. Summer Wells. Quentin Simon. Need I go on?
Points. There's literally 1,000 cases out there. What we do is we start advocating for a new case. When new information comes out about this.
No, you don't. You just do high profile. Yeah, I maybe not have many substitutes. Do you know how many families I've helped that nobody will talk about? That I begged bigger YouTubers, please just put it, even a flyer on your community wall. Just saying.
Case, we inform our audience. We're not going to go on a 2-week diatribe about every single element about this case. The bottom line is that it could only be one of a few motives, means, and opportunities. It's either drugs, gang, dispute, or the fight at the court, which still goes back to the gang. Either way you look at it, something terrible happened to these kids. It seems so strategic because it was literally hours before they were going to be delivering their child. I'm going to go here. I think this is where, hold on.
Okay.
Yes, this is right here.
Okay. How disgusting. I don't even know what to say, you guys. That was rotten. Hey sis, do you have an echo? Is there an echo? Because Katrina has an echo. I don't. I checked my phone. Maybe go out and come back in. Only high profile. Yes, yes, yes. And did you see like a little bipolar action going on there? How can she do that to family? How can she do that? I will never understand it. But yes, I will say something. I will give my commentary on it, my opinion and criticism. And I do it respectfully. Oh, good, 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 good. Good. Good, good, good. Happy New Year to everybody. We are watching the Young Thug trial, and I'm so happy that we got a trial back. It's been so boring on here. Well, not really, not in IP2 though. She's predictable how she goes from saving. Yeah, right? Okay, now I'm not going to say this, but I am going to say this. Look at how she gets with Layla Santiago's case. That's her case, people. She says it's her case. Do not mess with the family. How about you not mess with any families? And, the police did say, these are gangs involved and you should be careful, okay? They said that yesterday or whatever. And you can be touched anywhere. Anywhere. It doesn't matter if you don't go there or not. You can still be touched. Be careful what you put out there. Bottom line. And their lifestyle of being around that, it probably allegedly has something to do with it, but you don't need to harass the family about it. Okay? Just saying. All right. So this Young Thug thing has been going on for 10 years. Oh, good. The judge is back. The judge is back. Oh, no, he's not. Hold on. Where is it? There it is. All right. I don't like the audio, though, on this channel. However, I will not stream Law and Crime. Nope, nope, nope. Even though it's fair use. But they give people strikes. And I think it's wrong. They get millions and millions of subs. And I'm not monetized, so by choice. Like she's heartfelt and cares, then the next breath she's hurling insult. Yeah, in the same live. I think she does. Allegedly. My opinion. I don't care if she watches me or not. At least I get my opinion out there. Yeah, because, I was being a little nosy, seeing what's going on the internet yesterday. So I checked in on her to see, she's all right. And then I heard that. I'm like, oh, hell no. So I went searching the internet, found the family interview, and took it from there. Yeah, it's none of my business either in a sense. But when you have a platform, a big platform, and people watch you and you're acting like that, that's wrong. Right. That's what I said. Me. And okay, what was else I going to say about this? And she says when there's no information, she don't continue talking about the case over and over. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Look at Kohlberger case. Look at poor Summer case. Look at Quentin Simon's case. Need I go on? She's getting sued again, right? by somebody else now. She's being sued for like 30,000 or 200,000 from I think Queen Bee and 30,000 from another girl. She took her video, a private video of hers, allegedly, okay, and just uploaded it to her channel, did no commentary to it. The girl gave her a strike. BHB put it right back up again. So the girl gave her another strike, and it was her own personal video of police coming to her house. And so she recorded it, and she's a witness to a case. And she put that on the internet. That's horrible. Look at how wrecked Summer's case is because of that trio. Actually, 4 of them. I wanted to like her. I tried so many times to see the good. I did too. And I've always said about her the good things that she does do. I do. And, whatever. I'm telling you, Katrina, I'm telling you. I don't know Queen Bee either. Yeah, they are dangerous. You have no privacy. Nobody's your friend. You know that. They're all, oh my God, what they're doing is crazy. I can't with them. But going real life is pretty bad. That's stupid. Have you talked to BP, Katrina? I haven't. I did reach out though. I know I stay away from that shit. I don't watch Queen Bee anyways. So yeah, since my live. Yeah. I popped in her chat a few times yesterday to say hi. She wasn't paying attention to chat, which is okay because they're crazy. But I don't think she's seen me. I just want to know if she's okay. I did see she had a little breakdown on Mike's live. It's going to be hard, but she's got to get over it. It is very toxic. Very. It's not going to do either of them good. They need to go their separate ways. She needs to take a break from social media. This is just my opinion. She has a lot to offer. Really? All right. And I just hope that 19-year-old little girl, pink girl, and I don't say that to be, mean to her or anything. I feel sorry for her in a sense because she didn't know what she was getting herself into, honestly. But I will say she's handling it pretty good. You can DM me here, hold, on my true crime thing, and then we'll take it from there. Hold on. La, 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 la. Okay, does this go to me? Hold on. I'm not really a Facebook person. However, let me see if it worked. See if it goes to me. Yep, it went to me. Good. All right. But yeah, anyways. You're cleaning and listening, darling, trying to get the Christmas stuff put away. I hear you. It was a tough Christmas. I'm sure with like many. Sis, I met Katrina. She is a sweet girl on a totally different community. And I think you watch them too. I'm not 100%. The IP2 streamers. They're so toxic. It's so sad. They used to be funny, but now they're, oh God, it's awful. See, they were supposed to come back at 1:30 Eastern time. What time is it? Well, it's 12:52 here. So it would have been 12:30, so they're behind, like normal. You know what? I do have an Instagram, but I rarely use it. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, where am I? Here I am. Here's my IG. Right here. Can get a hold of me that way too. All right. Our great grandfather passed 3 days before. Oh, jeez. Yeah, my aunt died on that day too. It's just yeah. Cool. So does anybody know about this trial and what it's all about? Anybody? I know it's been going on 10 years. And I see a lot of, in my opinion, corruption on the state. Just saying. Just like to add things that weren't there to begin with in documents. I don't care for the prosecuting attorney, the lady with the short hair. I like the judge. However, a problem I have with the judge is when there's objections from the defense, he always sustains it. He doesn't overrule it. I don't understand. However, he don't put up with shit. And the defense attorney, because I think there's 5 defendants in that courtroom, Counsel Steele, that lawyer. He's entertaining. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. All that, yeah. Okay, do you guys feel like laughing? I gotta find it. Hopefully we'll go through. Oh no, what'd I do with it? Oh my God. It's gone. Okay. I'm gonna go to my TikTok. Oh, good. They're back. They're back, you guys.
Our jurors, just to let you know what I'm going to tell them. I have some unrelated matters I got to take up just for about 30 minutes at 3 o'clock. So we're going to break right before 3, come back about 3:30-ish, and we'll see where the day leads us at that point in time, just so you know, okay? All right, unless there's anything else I need to take up with you all, I'll summon our jurors at this point in time.
What? That guy there? That's bad. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
All jurors present, count 4.
All right, thank you, Sergeant Ingram. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue with the presentation of state case. Let me just kind of just tell you where we are going to head for the afternoon. We are going to take about an hour's worth of testimony. I have some unrelated business about 3 o'clock I need to take up for about 30 minutes. We'll come back, and then we should work somewhere around the 5 o'clock hour thereabouts, and that'll be the conclusion of our first workday, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, okay. State, summon your next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state called Richard Randolph.
All right, summon Mr. Randolph, please. Mr. Randolph, good afternoon. Sir, if you would please approach the witness stand. Once you get there, turn and face Sergeant Ingram, be sworn as a witness, please.
Raise your right hand and swear firm testimony you give the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I so swear.
Merci. State is good. First last name, of course.
Richard Randolph. Richard, come and spell it. Randolph, R-A-N-D-O-L-P-H.
And good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Where are you employed?
I'm currently employed with the Fulton County District Attorney's Office.
And how long have you worked with the Fulton County District Attorney's Office?
Approximately 2 years.
And what is your current job title with the Fulton County District Attorney's Office?
I am currently the Executive Deputy Chief of Investigations.
And what are your job duties as Executive Deputy Chief of Investigations?
As the Executive Deputy Chief of Investigations, I am the number 2 amongst the investigators. I assist the chief with the day-to-day operations of the office and whatever needs may be. I supervise the deputy chiefs along with a team of called the High Profile Difficult Witness Task Force, which is HP+.
And prior to working at the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, were you employed?
Prior to, I was the chief investigator at the DeKalb County Solicitor General's office.
And how long have you been in law enforcement?
Approximately 25 years.
And are you post certified?
Yes, I am.
I want to direct your attention to this current case. Are you a part of the investigative team assisting with this current case that we are in?
Yes, I am.
And as a member of this investigative team, what are some of your job and responsibilities?
I supervise the investigators that are assigned to this team. We collect evidence, we interview witnesses, we locate witnesses, and anything, any investigative needs that are needed with this case.
I want to direct your attention to December 10th, 2023, where you asked to locate and subpoena an individual by the name of Dwight Hutchins.
Yes, I was.
And were you able to subpoena Mr. Hutchins?
Yes, I was.
Where did you subpoena Mr. Hutchins?
I located his home and I subpoenaed him in his living room.
And was he present when you went to his home?
Yes, he was.
And while at his home, did you speak with him?
Yes, I did.
And did you speak with him about his testimony, what his testimony would be?
Yes.
And if you can tell Jerry briefly about your interaction with Mr. Hutchins while at his home on December 10th, 2023.
While at his home, they were very nice and cordial. They invited me in. We went inside, and I told them why I was there, and I told them that I was there because of part of this case. And to refresh his memory, I showed him his statement, and that's why I was there. And he looked at the statement.
And I'm going to show you what's already been admitted as State's Exhibit 190P. Showing you, I believe, it's not on your screen. So if you can turn around to the screen above, there's a statement. Is that the statement which you showed Mr. Hutchins on December 10th, 2023?
Yes, it is.
And once you show Mr. Hutchins that statement, tell the jury about your interactions with Mr. Hutchins as you showed him that statement.
First, I showed him the statement, and I was using my phone, so I blew up the bottom portion where the signature. And I asked, "Is this your signature?" And Mr. Hutchins said, "Yes." And then I proceeded to read the statement to him.
And did you read the statement verbatim as it is on the actual statement?
Yes.
And when you read the statement, what happened?
When I read him the statement, he was familiar. He remembered this statement. He said he did not type it, but that's his signature. And he told me that he was okay with. He remembered everything verbatim except the last lines of the statement. He did not agree with the last lines of the statement.
And what were the last lines that he said that he didn't remember?
Mr. May was asking him to leave the property, and one of the males shouted out that he would come back and shoot Mr. May in his face. And from there, Mr. May told dispatch to call Dunwoody Police. He was vague on that part. He said he did not remember that part. He remembered everything else, but not that part.
Just the last sentence.
Just the last sentence.
When you asked him about his signature, what was that interaction? Solely about his signature.
Oh, he was clear that was his signature.
Was there any explanation that was an old signature and not his new signature?
No, he took one look at it and said that was his signature.
Now, it says you read the statement. Did he ever read the statement himself?
I saw his eyes moving, but I wasn't, I'm not sure that he actually, read it verbatim.
Was it a point where you handed him your device for him to look at?
I held it up to his face and slowly strolled down the statement.
And after reading his statement to him, was there any other interaction regarding his coming to testify?
He was serving a subpoena.
Okay. And was that?
Yes.
All right. And was this interaction recorded?
No, it was not.
Person open. The last line, because I think he said that he didn't know where that last line came from. Any other part of the statement, did he say that he did not write that?
He was in agreement. He was in agreement with the entire statement except the last line.
But he acknowledged that after that last line, that was his signature.
Objection, sustained.
However, after that last line? Is his signature after that last line?
Yes, his signature's after the last line. Cross. All right. Any cross?
I don't have any questions.
Okay, all right. Can we permanently temporarily excuse Investigator Randolph?
Permanent, well, temporarily.
All right, Investigator Randolph, I'm going to temporarily excuse you as a witness. Please don't discuss your testimony to anybody except the attorneys in this case, okay? Thank you. All right, thank you, sir. All right, call your next witness.
Say call Officer Cogdale to the stand.
What's his last name, I'm sorry?
Cogdale, C-O-G.
Cogdale?
Yes, L-L. Hey, Your Honor, we'll be starting a new at 9.
All right, Officer Cogdale, good afternoon, sir. Sir, if you would please approach the witness stand. Once you get there, if you would turn and face Sergeant Brown, be sworn as a witness before you sit down, sir.
Do you swear affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. I'm seeking to just the microphone. State your first and last name.
So, first name is Curtis, C-U-R-T-I-S. Last name Cogdell, C-O-G-D-E-L-L.
And Officer Cogdale, where are you employed?
Atlanta Police Department.
And how long have you been in the Atlanta Police Department?
A little over 15 years.
And where are you currently assigned?
Zone 3.
And where's the Zone 3 area?
South side of I-20, all the way down to South Central.
What's South Central?
Like 1 and 2 Hayfield.
Okay. And how long have you been assigned to Zone 3?
A little, about 5 years.
And tell me a little bit about your work history within that.
My career, I started out in Zone 4 as a patrol officer, which is the west side of Atlanta. From there, I went to the Zone 15, and then from there to Apex K9 unit, and then to Zone 3.
And are you post certified?
I am.
And were you post certified since September 2019?
I was.
Direct your attention specifically to September 25th, 2019. What unit were you assigned with?
What unit?
Yes.
Zone 3 patrol unit.
And just tell the jury a little bit about your job and your responsibilities as a patrol officer.
Patrol officer, you respond to 911 calls. You try to help reduce the crime by 5%, and traffic accidents, stuff like that.
And as a patrol officer in Zone 3, are you assigned to a certain beat or a certain area within Zone 3?
Assigned to a beat.
Okay. And back in 2019, what beat were you assigned?
309.
And where is beat 309?
It is south of 166 all the way to Cleveland, right there by 75 if you're going east on Cleveland, or 85 if you're going west on Cleveland.
And is there a certain main roadway that sits within beat 309?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Is there a certain roadway, is there a major roadway that sits within beat 309?
It is. There's two. You have Metropolitan, and then you have Cleveland.
All right.
Parts of Cleveland, right?
Parts of Cleveland. Got permission to approach.
You may.
And I'm going to show what I believe all defense counsel may have, which is a copy of our exhibits. I'm going to show you what's going to mark as exhibit 28 and 29. Do you recognize exhibit 28 and 29?
I do.
And how do you recognize exhibit 28 and 29? 28 and 29.
That's part of my area that I patrol.
And is that a fair, accurate depiction of a portion of the area that you patrol within Zone 3?
It is.
And is that a fair, accurate depiction of the area that you patrol back in 2019?
It is.
Your Honor, this is how it's like the 10 is 28 and 29Q into evidence.
Any objections to states 28 or 29Q?
May I just approach Mrs.
You may.
For the most part.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Hearing none, 28 and 29Q are admitted and may be published as you see fit.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Your Honor, of course, that screen is not on. Anyone from tech just says Zoom, but it's, sure, I apologize. The witness screen is not on, it just has Zoom, it doesn't have the images on the screen, so as I have to break it.
There's a reason that one's been disabled, so you're gonna have to use the other one.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And he can get up and relocate himself if he'd like to, okay?
Okay, thank you for that. All right, if you can just orient the jury, and if you need to stand, you can, to what we are seeing in State's Exhibit 28Q.
Say that again.
If you can orient the jury about the map location in 28Q.
Yeah, Metropolitan, and you had the Cleveland area.
Okay, and on 28Q, where is Metropolitan?
It is, it runs north and south of Cleveland where it says 41.
And when you say 41, this is what we're referencing?
Yes.
All right, and you just referenced Cleveland Avenue, this is what we're discussing?
Correct.
Okay, now where would your beat, or where is beat 309?
309 would be,
You can step down if you need to.
Okay.
309 is Cleveland from 75 going westbound. So you will have Metropolitan.
Going this way?
Correct.
All right.
And it will stop right there at Springdale going north.
Okay, so this block here.
Yeah, up to 166.
Up to 166. So this square is 309.
Correct.
All right. And back in 2019, that square was your general beat of 309. Okay. Now, take you back to September 2019. Did you have a certain shift in which you worked?
Yes.
What was your shift?
Evening, which is 2 p.m. to 10 p.m.
And is that your current shift now?
It is.
Have you worked any other shift while in zone 3 outside of the evening?
No, ma'am.
I want to direct your attention specifically to September 25th, 2019. Were you working that day?
I was.
And were you working the evening shift as you just testified to?
I was.
And where were you? Were you on patrol?
I was.
And where were you on patrol?
That day I was posted up right there in Metropolitan and Peg Road.
And you said Metropolitan Peg right here?
Correct.
All right. And is there a business location at Metropolitan Peg?
It is. It's a storage facility.
All right. And coming southbound on Metropolitan, would the facility be on the right-hand side of the street or the left-hand side?
If you're coming south, it will be on the right.
All right. And where were you within that facility?
I was sitting right there at the entrance of the parking lot to come into the storage.
And why were you sitting there?
They had several complaints about people breaking into the storage unit, so I was just patrolling that little area.
Okay. And as you were patrolling that area, what, if anything, happened?
I observed a red sedan traveling southbound on Metropolitan.
Okay. And what, if anything, did you notice when you saw the red sedan traveling southbound on Metropolitan?
I observed the driver dancing around in the driver's seat, and as he passed me, he wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Okay. And let me ask you this: when you were sitting at the Q Smart, were you facing? Was the front of your car facing Metropolitan?
It was facing in front of Metropolitan.
Okay. And do you recall what kind of red vehicle it was?
It was a red Nissan.
All right. And you said you saw the driver dancing around this. Right. Did you see anyone else from your vantage point at that time inside the vehicle?
There was nobody else in the vehicle.
Okay. As you saw the individual dancing around your vehicle, what if anything happened next?
Say it again.
Once you saw the driver dancing around the vehicle, what if anything happened next?
So as soon as he passed me, I noticed that he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, so I immediately got out in traffic to get behind the vehicle.
Okay. And what happened once you got behind it?
Once we approached the intersection of Metropolitan and Cleveland, I activated my emergency lights to get the driver to pull over.
And did the driver pull over?
He turned on the left signal to turn into the Dollar General parking lot.
And where's the Dollar General parking lot?
It sits on the corner, east corner of Metropolitan in Cleveland.
All right, looking back at our map. Where is the general vicinity where the Dollar General will be?
It will be right up here.
Right here?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened once the vehicle turned into the Dollar General?
As soon as he entered the parking lot, he immediately continued to the other side of the parking lot and back out onto Cleveland.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State Exhibit 35Q, which should be picture 3. Do you recognize what the State Exhibit 35Q?
I do.
How do you recognize the State Exhibit 35Q?
That's the Dollar General right at the corner of Metropolitan in Cleveland.
Is that the same Dollar General that we just referenced on the map?
It is.
And is that a fair, accurate depiction of the Dollar General back in 2019?
It is.
Your Honor, just want to say like 10 or 6 to 35Q is that?
Any objection, states 35Q. All right, states 35Q is amended and may be published as you see fit.
Thank you. Okay. For the jury, this is Dollar General that we've just been speaking of. Is that the Dollar General?
It is.
And if you can just orient the jury right now to what we're seeing, where's the intersection, and what we're seeing in 60 to 35Q.
The intersection is right there where the red light is at, so that's the main street you're looking at, that's Metropolitan, then, and where the red light is at, that's Cleveland. And then he enters the parking lot right there where the gentleman is walking across at the entrance of Metropolitan to the Dollar General.
And is it fair to say that gentleman wasn't there back in 2019? Okay, all right. So when he made the left into the parking lot, and if you have to stand up, you can tell the juror, show the juror what direction he walked in.
So we entered the parking lot. He immediately continued around the building to the other side of the parking lot, which is another entrance that leads onto Cleveland Avenue.
Okay. And did you go behind him?
I did.
All right. And what happened once you get to the other side of the Dollar General?
Once we get to the other side, he immediately made the left onto Cleveland. And then we were traveling eastbound on Cleveland towards 75.
And let me ask you, back in 2019, driving southbound, was there any traffic driving southbound back on this day, September 2019?
Matter of fact, the light is red, so it would be a picture perfect. There was cars there, so he had to turn it to the General.
Okay. And was there any traffic going northbound or Metropolitan?
No.
All right. So once he goes left onto Metropolitan, what if anything? I mean, excuse me, left onto Cleveland. What if anything?
Once on Cleveland, the vehicle started picking up speed and continued towards 75.
When the car began picking up speed, what did you do?
I was radio that I had one refusing to stop. Let her copy my traffic, and I proceed to follow the vehicle.
Okay. And what if anything occurred?
I noticed the vehicle went around traffic into the center lane, and right there it says Cleveland and Forest Hill. He ran the light.
What happened? You just pointed.
29Q.
All right, we'll show you 29Q. Okay, so you said that he was going around traffic.
Correct.
Show the jury the general area where he was going around.
You got Forest Hill right there in Cleveland. There's a traffic light right there. And then the light was red and you went around traffic, you ran the traffic light.
Okay. So right here at Forest Hill in Cleveland, there's a traffic light at Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay. And you said, did the car run that light?
Correct.
All right. And what happened once the car ran the light?
He crossing over 75, still on Cleveland. At this time, I'm approaching Forest Hills at the light. Once I get through the light, I noticed that he was in a vehicle accident.
Okay. And at this one, do you know about how fast y'all were going?
My speeds were probably around 45, 40, can't say about how fast he was going. He had a little bit distance ahead of him.
Okay. And once the accident occurred, what happened?
I noticed that he was already out of the vehicle and then he was running on foot.
And when he ran on foot, I'm probably giving you exercise today.
Okay.
Where did he go?
There's a check cashing place and a cleaners right there at that corner, which there's a fence blocking to keep traffic from running into the buildings and stuff. So he scaled the fence, jumped over the fence, and then started running through the parking lot.
Okay. And when you said the check cashing place and the dry cleaners, where approximately on this map is the check cashing place?
It's going to be that first small square building.
Right, in this little block up here?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the cleaner's going to be the little L shape.
All right, so the first small block is the check cashing place, the L shape is the cleaners.
Correct.
There's another gray box, what is that?
That is the admission place.
The admission place, okay. What direction did he run?
He's running kind of south in between the check cashing place and the cleaners. And then he runs behind the cleaners, in between the cleaners and the admission place.
Okay, and I believe we keep saying a he. Did you recognize the driver to be a man?
Yes.
All right. Now, as he runs through the check cashing place and runs in between the dry cleaners and the admission, what does anything happen?
He started running towards the parking lot, which is 230 Cleveland Avenue, which is that big gray square. He enters that parking lot still running. There's a Gracer there, possibly a Chevy, not for sure, that's parked there. A female is getting out of the car. As the female is getting out of the car, he pushes her out of the way in an attempt to get in the car, but there was another person in the driver's seat.
Did you
I sustain the objection as to you can rephrase.
Let me ask you, were you observing him running towards the vehicle?
Yes.
And did you observe him trying to go down the vehicle?
I sustain the objection.
I'm sorry, what did you observe?
I observed him pushing the female out of the way to get in the driver's seat. But
that's direct, so I'll overrule the objection. You may
Did you
finish.
observe him trying to get into the vehicle?
I did.
And did you observe him trying to get into the vehicle after you pushed the lady out of the car?
Not out of the car, but out of the way.
Out of the way?
Yes.
Was he able to just get into the car?
No.
What happened?
He continues to take off back running. This time he's running northbound in the parking lot and then he crosses over Cleveland Avenue.
And at this time, are you behind him?
From a distance, yes.
And are you chasing behind him?
I am.
What if anything happens once he crosses Cleveland Avenue?
Once he crosses Cleveland Avenue, I heard something drop, which was later my flashlight. Kind of paused for a second, but he's running in between the Checkers and the other business.
Okay. And time for your exercise again. Where is the Checkers, and approximately where is the Checkers at within this map here?
The Checkers is going to be on the other side of Cleveland where the little T square is at.
Okay.
And then you got the block building where he runs in between.
All right. And what direction is he running into?
He's running northbound, which leads into another apartment complex.
And where's that apartment complex?
2612 Still Avenue.
Okay. And at this time, do you still have sight of him?
Once he goes behind the Checkers, no, I don't have sight.
All right. And do you actually go over to where, to this side where 2612 Still is?
I do.
And why do you go over there?
To see if he was hiding or laying down somewhere.
All right. And did you see him over there?
No.
All right. Did you eventually learn if he was ever apprehended?
Yes.
And where did you see apprehended?
Right there, the entrance of it says Old Hateville and Cone Square.
Okay. And where it says Colonial Square, is that another set of apartments?
It is.
All right. And once the individual was detained, what happened next?
I started, checking, walking back to where they had him detained, and then I came back to where the scene was at. And let's go back
and talk about the observation of the accident. What type of car did the red vehicle use?
It was a white sedan. I believe it was a Honda.
And did you see anyone inside the white vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how many people were inside the white vehicle?
For my knowledge, it's just one.
And within the red vehicle, did you see anyone else get out of the red vehicle? Now, on the thing, did you have body cam video?
I did.
All right. And did your body cam capture, have you been able to review your body cam?
I did.
And has your body cam captured your interaction from what you just testified to on Peg Road up until you running behind Checkers at 2612 Steel?
Yes.
All right. And back then, tell us what type of uniform you were wearing.
Similar to what I have on without the outer vest.
Without the outer vest?
Yes. So all the equipment that you see up top was on my waist.
Okay.
Except for my camera.
And where was your camera?
Center mass in the middle of the chest.
All right. And did you get out of breath at some point in time?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And is that indicated on the video?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to show you what the Martin Stacy did in 1Q. Tell me if you recognize what you did in 1Q.
Yes.
And how do you recognize what you did in 1Q?
I have my signature on it along with today's date.
And what was on or what's contained with the Stacy did in 1Q?
My body cam footage.
And did that appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of your body cam footage from September 25th, 2019? And has there been any additions or deletions to that body cam footage? Your Honor, this time the state by the Stacy did in 1Q into evidence.
Any objection, states 1Q. All right, states 1Q is admitted, may be published as you see fit.
And Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Sharp. We're only going to play the initial portion of the video which captures what has just been testified.
From when to when?
From 0 to about 4 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
And Your Honor,
Sir.
may I clarify for the record? I don't object to the portion that the state is indicating that they will publish. We had prior conversations.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And right here, this is you sitting in your vehicle at the Q Smart.
Yes. Yes. 45, still on Cleveland. Just 41, just 41.
When your copy still on Cleveland, 45 miles per hour. How is traffic lighter? What's your location?
230 Cleveland, 230 Cleveland.
230 Cleveland.
Black male, black shirt, black jeans.
Black male, black shirt, black jeans.
Attempted to 44, attempted to 44. Get down, get down.
Copy, attempted to 44. Get down right up. Now.
Running towards 191. 191 Cleveland.
191 Cleveland. You still have visual? Okay, talk to me. You still have visual?
Running towards the apartments.
Running towards the apartment. Any unit 59 Wisdom. First unit Wisdom, advise me. What's your location now? 309, what's your location now? Have you made it to the apartment? Are you raising up the cloud still?
Yeah, he's back here somewhere.
Back in the apartment? Received 3309, checking on you. 309, you still have visual subject?
Negative. I lost her back here behind the checkers.
Lost sight behind the checkers. You okay?
Yeah.
Where's your copy? Where can you go?
Trying to have a very resource perimeter.
One unit in route to 309 location advised that you are set up a perimeter in the area on Steve Avenue. 310 received. 305, 4 and 2 and one thing in the area. 2343 radio copy, getting the subject the same.
James 103, have you got checkers on Cleveland?
If they're advising that getting the subject the same. 3309, was it just one person or
I thought it said 5 minutes and 10 seconds. We'll stop within the video.
Say the number again.
5 minutes and 10 seconds. There were a few things that were shouted in the video. One, what's a 41?
Accident.
Accident?
Mhm.
And then what's a 44?
It's a robbery.
And in looking, first, what we have depicted on the screen right here, there's apartment 6.
Mhm.
So we're gonna use that.
Okay.
What are we looking at here? Is this an apartment complex?
Yeah, this apartment complex, this is the backside, or you saw when you walked through the cut, but this is 2612 Still Avenue.
And on the other side of 2612 Still, I'm just going to fast forward slightly to about 6 minutes, or maybe about 7 minutes. I want you to tell me what we're seeing a little bit past 2612 Still. So stop, pausing right here. What area, what are we looking at? If you go straight
If you
towards the steps.
If you go straight up to the steps, there's a fence right here, and then on the other side of the fence is another apartment complex.
And is there a way to get from 2612 Steel to that other apartment complex if you were going?
Yeah, if you were to run behind this building right here, further up, there's a makeshift cut or path that leads into that other side.
And was the male apprehended? And where was he apprehended?
He was apprehended there right at the entrance of that next complex in O'Higgins.
And I'm going to fast forward again just slightly. And to about 7 minutes. And pausing right here, can you see the general area of the entrance of that second apartment complex?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and if you can show the jury where it is, the front part.
The front entrance is right here. There's a gate gated for vehicles to come in. That would be the entrance right there.
And earlier we talked about the cut. Do you see the cut?
Not on my camera, but it's right up in here.
Okay. All right. Now, what the individual the male was detained, was he brought back to where you are?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did you actually go back to?
I went back to the scene of that, where the car was ended up at.
And when the individual was brought back to your location, did you learn who the individual was?
I did.
Okay, and who was the person driving?
Shannon Jackson.
And had you ever met Shannon Jackson before?
No, ma'am.
Had you personally had any interactions with Mr. Jackson before?
No.
Once Mr. Jackson was brought back to where you were, what if anything occurred?
He was saying that he couldn't breathe, stuff like that. So we already requested the ambulance to come out.
And did the ambulance come?
They did.
And did you ever obtain a driver's license from Mr. Jackson?
Not off for Mr. Jackson, but from another officer.
And was it a valid license?
No, ma'am.
And did Mr. Jackson have any belongings on his person?
He had money in his pockets.
And how much money did he have? How much money did you get from him while it
Seeing the officer had counted out $5,000.
And do you know where that money was located on his person?
I believe it was in his front pockets.
Was there any additional money found on Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Go ahead.
It was roughly $500.
And where did you find that money?
In his front pockets.
And did you find that money while on the scene on Cleveland Avenue or somewhere else?
While we were at Grady Hospital.
And what if anything happened to that $5,500?
I was turned into property.
While on scene, was there anything else done while on scene?
We inventoried the vehicle.
And we say inventory the vehicle. Which vehicle did you inventory?
The red Nissan.
Okay. And why did you inventory the vehicle?
Because he was in custody.
And what did you think was going to happen with the red vehicle?
Being impounded, so we had the inventory, see if there were any belongings and values inside the car.
And did you find anything inside the car?
We did.
What did you find?
We found a handgun in the center console.
And what type of gun was found in the center console?
That was a Taurus, I believe, with a 9mm.
And did the gun have a serial number?
It did.
And do you recall the serial number was?
Not offhand, but
We're looking at a copy of the police report, help refresh your memory.
yes.
And the serial number. Permission to approach?
You may, ma'am.
And I'm going to show a copy of this. I'm going to show you what's marked as 36Q. Tell me if you recognize it as 36. How do you recognize it as 36Q?
This is my police report.
And is that a fair, accurate depiction of your police report for this case?
It is.
And we're looking at a copy of your police report, help refresh your memory as to the serial number of the handgun that you found inside of that red Nissan.
Yes.
Have you looked at your report?
I'm looking for it. Yes.
Okay. And without reading from the page, what was the serial number for the firearm?
9FW03901.
And did you run that serial number on the time?
I did.
And what did you have when you ran the serial number on the time?
At the time of the incident, it was showing not on file, which means not stolen.
And Did you determine if Mr. Jackson should have been in possession of a handgun?
He did.
Okay, and should he have been in possession of a handgun?
No, after doing a criminal history check, we found out he was a convicted felon.
Now, I'm going to show you what's been previously marked and shown defense counsel as Exhibit 23Q, 24Q, and then 2Q through 21Q. Take a moment, flip your tongue to recognize those pictures, those items.
This, what number?
23, 24Q. 2. Do you recognize for 23 to 24 Q and 2 through 19? And how do you recognize, let's start first with 23 Q and 24 Q.
23Q and 24Q is the vehicle that was struck.
And then looking at 2Q, 19Q, how do you recognize 2Q, 19Q?
This is the vehicle that he was driving.
And as you continue to go through.
Okay.
And through this, I'm looking at State's Exhibit 19, 20, and 21Q. What's the 19, 20, 21?
And that was the firearm that was found in the center console.
And look at all those pictures I was thinking before, 2, 21Q, and 23 and 24Q. Does that be a fair and accurate depiction of the scene on September 25th, 2013?
Yes.
And does it also appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of the weapon found in the car on September 25th, 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
You're on this time to say like September 6th exhibit, really 2 through 24Q.
Any objection, Mr. Sharp?
No, Your Honor.
All right, states 2 through 19Q and 23 and 24Q are admitted and may be published as you see fit.
And I believe we also had 20 and 21Q as well.
All right. Any further objection to 20 or 21Q, sir?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 20Q and 21Q are admitted.
And let me actually, before we publish these images, or some of these images, the lady in the vehicle with the 44, any information ever received from the lady in the vehicle which called the 44 and why?
No.
Why?
When I got there, she was gone.
Okay.
Her in the car.
They left the area.
Yeah.
And in running or chasing, had you gotten, were you able to get the tag number of that vehicle?
No.
So were you able to identify, okay, who the individual was?
No.
Okay. At this time, we're going to first publish 23 and 24. Now, first looking at Stacy Exhibit 23Q, I know we saw some of this in the body cam video, but if you can just orient the jury to where we are within this photograph.
This right here is off ramp coming off of 75 northbound onto Cleveland.
And in the distance on the left-hand side, is that a gas station?
It is.
And what is the address of that gas station?
221 Cleveland Avenue.
Far from the distance on the left-hand side, there's a sign. Do you know what that sign is?
That's the Checkers.
And on the right-hand side, do we see, are you able in this image to see the red Nissan that you observed Mr. Jackson driving?
Yes.
Okay. And using the stick, I'm sure we can all see, so using the stick, you can point where the red.
The red car is right here.
All right, and I might just have you stand because I might have you show some more. Looking at Stacy Exhibit 24Q. If you're looking at Stacy Exhibit 24Q and you look to the left of the screen, what direction is that on Cleveland Avenue?
If you looking left to the screen, that's going westbound back over on Cleveland, heading towards Metropolitan.
Okay. And do you see that other traffic light going to the left?
Yeah, right. To the left?
Yes.
From this, right here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the traffic light at Forest Hill and Cleveland Avenue?
It is.
All right. Now showing Stacy's Exhibit 2Q. Is that a closer picture of what we just saw in 23Q?
It is.
Now, looking at the red vehicle, did the red vehicle hit either the tree or the metal frame there?
No, it came to a resting spot. So once it over this sidewalk part, that's where it rested.
Okay. All right. And from here, do you see either the dry cleaning or the dry cleaners?
The dry cleaners right here.
All right. Now looking at 3Q. If you can orient, what's the blue building and then that kind of brownish building that has 5?
This is the dry cleaner still, and then right here is be the mission place.
And when Mr. Jackson was running, where was he running in between?
Between the dry cleaners and the mission.
Now looking at this exhibit 4Q. Is that just another image of the vehicle in front of the vehicle?
Correct.
All right. 5 and 6. Now look at this exhibit 6Q. Is that the check cashing that you've been referencing in your testimony?
It is.
All right. Now, also in your testimony, you said that Mr. Jackson hopped over the fence. Where's the fence in which he hopped over?
This fence right here.
And once he hopped over the fence, is that where he ran in between the buildings?
Once he hopped over the fence, he ran between the cleaners and the check cashing place, and then he cut. So you see the mission spot right there.
All right. Looking at 7, we can move forward. Is this all in the picture of the inside of the vehicle?
It is.
All right. Okay. Looking at Exhibit 13Q, what is Exhibit 13Q?
This is the center console. This is the inner lid of the center console.
All right.
And then that's the bottom of the center console where the gun was located.
Okay. And so did you have to lift up the other parts to get to where the gun was located?
Yes.
All right. And is that an image of the gun that was recovered out of the vehicle?
It is.
That's just a close-up. Speaking of that, was the gun loaded?
It was. There was one in the chamber, that's the reason why that was sitting right there.
All right. And did you recall how many was in the magazine?
If you count the one in the chamber, it'll be a total of 8.
It was a total of 8. All right. And it's just a close-up of the type of weapon that it was. Is it just a close-up of the type of weapon?
Yes.
Okay.
The name brand, the serial number, and the caliber.
Okay. And is that the gun is inside of the box?
Correct.
All right. And that's close-up of the bullet,
Yes.
And a close of the way.
Yes.
All right, you can take it.
You ready to come? You ready to take it out?
All right, Deputy Ingram is approaching with what has been marked with State Exhibit 22Q. I want you to take a moment and look inside this 22Q and tell me if you recognize what's in State Exhibit 22Q.
This is the weapon that was recovered.
Is that the same picture that we're looking at on 21Q?
It is.
All right, and does that have the same serial number in which, for the gun that we see in the picture of 22?
It does.
You're on this time to say like a tender, so you can get a 22Q into evidence.
Any objections, states 22Q, Mr. Sharp? All right, states 22Q is admitted and may be published as you see fit.
And now permission to publish that. Thank you. No. Thank you, Deputy. Now, I know earlier we talked about the gun being not in file. You said that means that it wasn't stolen. If a gun had been stolen but not reported, would that still come up as not on file?
If a gun's been stolen but not reported, no. It has to be reported stolen for it to be, for you to get the hit on file.
Basis, what's the? I'm overrule the objection.
I'm just asking what is not on file. Not on file means
Right, at this point, I'll overrule the objection, sir.
just that not on file means that it has not been reported.
Correct.
Did you take out warrants from Mr. James?
I did.
What were the warrants or charges that you took out on Mr. James?
It been fleeing and eluding, reckless driving, no license, not wearing a seatbelt, obstruction of officer, and then possession of a weapon by a convicted felon.
And after being on the scene, did you eventually go down to Brady Hospital?
I did.
All right. And after going down to Brady Hospital, did that include your involvement in this case?
It does.
All right. Clerk, vote. I have no further questions.
Mr. Sharp, why don't we take our break as I indicated to the jury? You can begin your examination when we come back, okay? All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, consistent with the court's other directions, we're going to go ahead and recess. We should be back. If you all could plan on being back for 3:30, and then once all we have accounted for all of you, we'll bring you back out, and we'll see where the rest of the day leads us. Okay, remember my admonitions that I've given you already, okay? All right, with that, we'll be in recess until about 3:30. All right,
So there's that. I don't understand. Hold on. I got to think here what I was going to say. I don't understand why the jury wasn't in there. And then the judge has something at 3 o'clock, which is in 5 minutes. Let's see if they're going to say anything else here. Why is that camera black? Oh, here we go. Okay, hold on. Hold on, you guys. What is going on? Hold on. Okay, so I'm trying to figure this out. Let me see if this is still streaming here. Ah,
There's nothing in the world
no.
more powerful than.
Hold on. Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay. So let's see here. They said 3 o'clock he has something to do. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for now because it sounds like it's going to be another hour. Then they're only going to be in the courtroom for an hour. So we'll see what happens. So let's wait for like 4 o'clock to come. And if they're back by then, I will come back. Okay, guys? Because I really have nothing to show you right now. Well, I could. But I'll just end this here for now. All right? Thank you, everybody who came through.